And we've got a real intensity in the way that we compete with each other for attention in the modern world now. What would you give the grade for youth sport in America?
Well, we actually did give a grade, and I would base it upon, first and foremost, the participation rate. Last fall, we looked at the world's leading sports systems, looked at 12 countries and how they set up their sports system. We looked in several different categories. How well did they do at creating elite athletes or Olympic champions and this type of thing, number one. Number two, what is the level of government support? I mean, funding and policies and structure. And the third thing is just the other real outcome, which is like how many kids are playing sports. And so in this country, it was, when we made that evaluation, it was about 51% according to the federal government. And so that merits a C grade. It might even be a C minus. I have to double check on that.
51% of the U.S. population
ages 6 to 17 play an organized sport in some form or another according to their parents.
And that's a C.
That correlates to a
What's
C.
an A? Like, what, when you looked at these 12 countries, what's at the top of the list? Like, what does great participation look like?
Norway, more than 90% of kids in Norway come through clubs, play sports. It's just baked into the way they have set up their ecosystem there. And by the way, they also create a lot of elite athletes.
They do for a small country.
They kill it in the Winter Olympics.
They kill Olympic athletes, right?
Solid.
That's kind of their
But even in the summer sports, I mean, Erling Haaland, I mean, some of the top soccer players in the world on the male and the female side are from Norway now.
Do a nice job in track and field.
We're Norwegian.
Oh,
no big deal.
There you go.
I'm Norwegian.
There you go.
Olsen with an E. Yeah. Oh, it's Sweden. We'll get into that. We'll get into my lineage at another later date. But it's hard for me to believe, though, in a country that just seems so sports crazy.
Right.
Whether it's just as fans and how popular our professional leagues are and college sports are and how we just consume live sports. I have to imagine it's up there with anywhere in the country, maybe aside from some of those soccer crazy nations and Mikey.
No, we're number one by far. We are the largest sports market in the world.
So how are we such a large sports market with a middle of the road, we'll call it C grade as far as participation? Doesn't interest in sport typically drive participation?
Yes. The data shows that a child who plays sports is 6.4 times, according to ESPN's research, 6.4 times more likely to become an avid fan of that sport. The avid fan is what you chase, and that's the person who floats the entertainment.
It's why all the soccer MLS clubs all have those feeder like youth organizations. Like in Charlotte, when Charlotte FC made an expansion team to build the MLS team, the infrastructure and the investment into the youth soccer scene in Charlotte was quadrupled.
Yeah.
Because the idea is the more kids playing soccer, the more fans of soccer there are.
NFL
it's
has
correlated.
The flag football.
NFL flag, yeah.
This feels corrupted to me, though. This feels like it's the exact wrong reason why we would want youth sport and the wrong funding source for it.
Yeah.
And of the three measures, I didn't hear the fourth one, which is like a measure or an estimate of a measure of well-being, of sense of vigor, sense of vitality for a person. And so even what I would consider the most important variable to measure was not on that list. It was measured from, I don't know, some sort of economic impact as opposed to psychological.
Right.
It seems all economically driven, no?
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the reasons I hate to keep talking about Norway. It's a small country. You can't really, it's not apples to apples with the US. But they really get sport right at the base, so they end up creating the top athletes, but they also have among the healthiest and happiest nations in the world.